The Martez Daleks, also referred to by the standard Dalek Empire as mutant Daleks, were a race of Daleks created on the planet Red Rocket Rising by Professor Martez. He intended to use Dalek technology salvaged from a crashed ship to create the next step in humanity's evolution. And he used human tissue to create his mutants, first from recently deceased corpses, and later from living people. He even sent a transmission to the Dalek Empire to ask for assistance in breeding a new race of Daleks, but the government of Red Rocket Rising subsequently discovered what Martez was up to and had him arrested. Before Martez's trial could take place, however, he appeared to mysteriously die. In reality, he transferred his mind into the body of his assistant, Asher Griven, to allow him to continue his experiments. The planet of Red Rocket Rising subsequently suffered a freak meteor impact which devastated the far side of the planet and sent the human colony into a brutal nuclear winter. The surviving population who could not be evacuated became a rampaging mob, and Martez took the opportunity to return to his abandoned lab and continue his experiments. After reactivating his lab and creating the first wave of new Daleks, Martez was interrupted by the 8th Doctor, who had recently arrived on the planet and figured out what Martez was up to. The Doctor pleaded with him to see reason and stop the development of another race of Daleks. The Doctor saw the parallels between Martez's actions on Red Rocket Rising and Davros's actions on Skaro during the creation of the Daleks. This was further intensified when the Doctor discovered that Martez had contacted the Daleks, as it turned out that the meteorite impact that the planet had suffered was no accident. It was a Dalek attempt to wipe out all life on the planet, and the fact that it had failed caused a Dalek saucer to be dispatched to finish the job. The Daleks, having been distracted from another war with one of their local rivals by the developments on Red Rocket Rising, arrived with depleted resources and limited ammunition for their starship's weapons, but with enough Daleks to essentially take the planet. The Daleks feigned innocence and pretended to offer help to the local population, who were ignorant as to their true nature and began blindly boarding the Dalek ships. However, at this point, Martez released his Daleks, assuming that the Daleks had arrived to assist in their development, and was shocked when the initial party sent out to greet the newcomers was attacked, leaving only one damaged survivor. Realising that the Daleks had effectively declared war on them, Martez's Daleks declared their own superiority and began mass production, preparing for full-scale war. Martez, however, had begun to weaken due to his mind being present inside the body of another. When Martez's Daleks found themselves under attack not only from standard Daleks but also from human survivors, they also declared war on humanity. Martez finally realised that his plans had gone too far and refused to help his creations produce more Daleks. In response, they exterminated him. The Doctor, who had entered a tenuous alliance with the Daleks, helped them locate Martez's laboratory. Since the Daleks had no torpedoes remaining, they chose to crash their command ship into the lab to ensure its destruction. The remaining Daleks intended to betray the Doctor, but they were then destroyed by the Red Rocket Rising survivors. The Doctor had a bitter final debate with the dying Black Dalek, attempting to convince it that the Daleks were ultimately doomed by their own maliciousness and obsession with purity before the creature died. Both factions of Daleks were destroyed, and the inhabitants of Red Rocket Rising were saved, albeit temporarily, as after the Doctor departed, the planet was subsequently settled by Cybermen. What do you think of Martez's Daleks? Have you listened to Blood of the Daleks? What other Big Finish Daleks do you want to know more about in a future video? Let me know in the comments below.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to
Dalek Bumps.